You are Quincy Chambers, sir. Yes, you may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have before me properly sworn to and executed probable cause affidavit executed by Detective Stephen Rucker with the Pineville Police Department that states in pertinent part as follows: that on or about 29 December 2015, officers were dispatched to the area of 10th Avenue and Palm Street regarding a shooting. Upon their arrival, they located a red Dodge Avenger with a black male identified as Derek Matthews, unresponsive, with apparent gunshot wounds to his head, neck, shoulder, and chest area. Family members of Derek Matthews were at the scene and informed us he was with a male named Trey, later identified as Travion Dixon, who lived in the area of 10th Avenue and Holly Street. Officers went to that area and located 20 spent shell casings in front of 1007 South Holly Street, later determined to be Travion Dixon's residence. Travion Dixon was located and interviewed. During the course of the investigation, detectives interviewed several witnesses. During the interviews, an eyewitness was located who said he was at the house when he saw Quincy Chambers and another black male walk up to the driver's side window of the car Derek Matthews was sitting in and shoot Matthews several times. The victim was shot at least 10 times in the head, neck, shoulder, and chest. The witness also gave a sworn statement to prosecuting attorneys and positively identified Quincy Chambers as one of the two black males who killed Derek Matthews. A BOLO was issued for Quincy Chambers, and on or about 7 January 2016, Quincy Chambers was located in Little Rock by U.S. Marshal, driving a white Ford F-150 which had been reported stolen out of Little Rock. The Arkansas State Police were notified and attempted to conduct a traffic stop on the vehicle Chambers was driving south on I-530. A chase ensued in which Chambers crashed into a guardrail before exiting the vehicle and fleeing on foot into the woods. Arkansas State Police, Pulaski County Sheriff's Office officers or deputies, and Department of Correction K-9 units were dispatched and searched the area for Chambers. Chambers was subsequently located by local residents hiding in that resident's barn and held until law enforcement could arrive and take Chambers into custody. Quincy Chambers was transported to the detective office where Detective Sergeant Belvedrezi and Detective Stephen Rucker read him his Miranda rights and spoke with him. Chambers denied shooting Derek Matthews. He was then taken to the county jail and booked in on capital murder, along with an outstanding domestic battery second-degree warrant and an absconder warrant. The state would request that the court make a probable cause finding for the offense of capital murder. In the event the court's inclined to make that probable cause finding, the state would assert that the defendant has multiple prior felony convictions to include theft of property and residential burglary, along with I lost his card. Along with a prior theft by receiving charge, for which he was sentenced to the Department of Corrections for 60 months in 2013. He also has pending criminal conspiracy charges in Bryant or Saline County, currently pending. Based on that, along with the fact of he fled from law enforcement at this time associated with this charge, the state requests that he be held without bond pending disposition of this matter.
Mr. Quincy Chambers, based upon the information provided by the state, the court finds that there is probable cause to detain you without privilege of making bond at this time on a single charge of capital murder. You're ordered to appear before this court for your first appearance in this matter on March 8, 2016 at 9 o'clock in the morning. Do you have an attorney in this case, sir?
Yes, sir.
Court will note that you have a will-retain counsel in this matter. I have before me two other documents. The first is a warrant for a detainer, commonly referred to as a white warrant. It alleges that you, Quincy M. Chambers, with PID number 0225435, were sentenced to the Arkansas Department of Corrections to serve a term of imprisonment, that you were subsequently released on parole, and that while on parole you violated the conditions of that parole, and for that reason you will be taken back into custody and returned to the Department of Corrections, where you will serve the remainder of your sentence. I also have in front of me a warrant for the retaking of a prisoner, commonly referred to as an absconder. This is warrant number 16000030. It alleges, again, that you, Quincy M. Chambers, with ADC number 157687, were to serve a term of imprisonment, that you were released on parole, and that while on parole, you violated the conditions of that parole. In each of these two warrant cases, you will be accorded a hearing. That hearing will determine whether you did in fact violate the conditions of your parole, and if you did, whether the violation is so severe that you ought to be required to serve the remainder of those separate sentences. Do you understand, sir? You are excused.